All right, welcome back to the Tailgate Connect podcast. Tonight, we're going to have someone from Shark Tank that has a tailgating product, QB54, that you're going to want to tune into. We're going to talk about what happened behind the scenes, the overall experience, and how QB54 is doing after their Shark Tank premiere. Stay tuned.
Tailgaters, hear the call, it's game day, y'all. Let's have a ball across the states from college to NFL. Tailgate Connect's got a story to tell.
All right, here we go. The Tailgate Connect podcast is back. And we have, I will say, Shark Tank royalty. I don't know if that's too forward or not, but we got Mike Silva with QB54, who was just recently on Shark Tank, one of my favorite shows. Mike, how you doing this evening, sir?
I'm doing fantastic. And Luke, thanks so much for having me. I've been following you probably since I started my business, so this is an honor for me to be here.
No, I feel like if we talk about that for a second, I think somewhere around 2017, 2018 is when we first might have met somewhere in there, and I got to play QB54 for the first time.
Yeah, we started the business in 2016, but we really started to put content out there the next year and have some product in 2017. So yeah, I mean, I was doing whatever still to this day. I try to find any angle I can, any audience out there, and I search tailgating. You were one of the first people that I've met and seen and sent you a game. And I remember you guys did a product review next to a lake, I think, somewhere. I don't remember where.
Back in Texas. That was early on in my tailgating, I guess, professional career as well, too.
That's funny. Yeah, I do remember it was Texas. I don't know. What town was that in? What city?
I lived in a town called Waxahachie, Texas for about 6 years before I moved to Colorado now. But yeah, no, I still vividly remember going out there. That was early on when I was just starting to get into like, how the heck do I do videos?
Yeah, and it's on YouTube.
I could probably do better now. I could probably do better.
Just a little bit. Just a little bit.
Good stuff. Good stuff. All right. Well, I guess let's rewind for a second because we went right into it. But for the people that don't know, what is QB54 and why is it relevant to a tailgating podcast?
Sure. So QB54 is a game that I invented. It's an entire game of football that we built out of 2 folding chairs, those same chairs that you bring to every tailgate to sit down. So we turned that traditional chair into an intense, competitive, fun football game with no injuries. It's got completions, touchdowns, interceptions, even kicking the extra point. And when you're done destroying your opponent, form it back into a chair, sit back, and relish your team's victory.
All right. Well, Mike, I feel like you said no injuries. I've seen some of your videos. I see some people like really kind of laying their body on the line to catch it on the bounce. Like, has there never been a single injury in QB54?
Nobody has reported to us, and we don't take any responsibility for anything. But I remember going to a Jet game. This was video gold. It was, I think it was Jets-Bills. Guy throws the ball, and in the game, if you catch the rebound off the chair, you can return it in pro rules. And they might have been drinking a couple of adult beverages and got a little carried away, but one of the guys caught the interception, starts running it back, and his buddy laid him out in the parking lot, section E4 at MetLife Stadium. It was fantastic. I'm like, I was with my son, and he had the iPhone. I'm like, dude, did you catch that? That's gold. And it was.
And it was.
And it was.
Good stuff. Good stuff. All right. So again, I think, do you call this game, is it the ultimate tailgating game? Am I saying that correctly with one of your punchlines?
So I got a couple of things. So, EA Sports, it's in the game. So we say QB54, it's in the chair. We also call it the game before the game. And it's also the ultimate tailgating game. And it's the only football themed game that's on the market today.
Wow, I don't think I knew the last part, and I guess maybe as I think about it, I can't really think of anything else like that. I'm sure there's some type of little like tabletop flick a little football thing,
but not like
yeah. So okay, now I'm going to be on the lookout.
All right,
I'm gonna
look
be on
for
the
it.
lookout
Hey,
for
look,
that.
it's just like Howard Stern that says he's the king of all media, right? He's the one who coined that. So, yes, we're the only football game that's on the market.
Excellent. All right. Well, riddle me this. So again, with a tailgating style game, does this take you out to a lot of different tailgates? I know. I think Giants, right? Is that one of the main like kind of
So
homestands that you
I,
have?
I live in central New Jersey. I'm an hour from MetLife. I'm an hour from Lincoln Financial Field, Philly. And that being that close to three major football teams makes it easy for me to market, demo, and sell. So obviously I go to those very frequently, but I like to branch out. Been to Cleveland, been to Ohio State, been to West Virginia, been to Buffalo, been to Gillette, all over down to Georgia for the SEC. We've been to play. We even been to the old San Diego Chargers Stadium back in California back in the day when we got on Steve Harvey's Thunderdome back in 2017, which only lasted a
I remember
year.
that show. It was kind of
Yes.
a cool show. I wish it
And
was still
dude, we
on, but
we were only in our business for a month, and we wind up getting a call from a producer on the show. He's like, "Do you want to come out? We're doing a show." Of course. So they paid for it, and I'm like, I was with my brother. We went on the show. I'm like, dude, let's go down to the Chargers. They're playing in Denver. Let's go tailgate and demo the game. That's exactly what we did.
all right. So here's the part that might divide some of the fan bases. What fan base, in your opinion, plays QB54 the best? Ooh.
The best. Uh wow. So, the most exciting footage consistently that I got, Cleveland Browns.
Okay. Like, and is there anything about like the
No,
Cleveland
they're
Brown
just the fan
tailgaters that make it
bases.
more exciting?
Dude, the team, the Browns are challenged, right, from year to year, but the fans, they cheer as if they're the Super Bowl champs every year. When they go out and tailgate, it's like a military operation. They get there 2.5 hours before the parking lot even opens, the Muni lot, which is across the street from the stadium. And I don't know if you've ever been out to Cleveland, but the Muni lot is where you want to go to tailgate.
Okay.
It's got everything there. The fans are awesome, and yeah, they're saving spots, 2 hours ahead of time with all these different, cones and whatnot, chairs, tables. And if you take their spot, watch out, because then there's going to be a fight. So you respect the people that are there. And I got to tell you, super nice people. They welcome us with open arms, and they love QB54 there. They absolutely do. It's insane.
Excellent. Well, hey, shout out to the Browns fans. Sounds like I need to get up there for a tailgate myself. I've not been, but it sounds exciting.
Well, look, and there's also the Giants, Jets, and Eagles. I mean, they've been super supportive of us as well. Obviously, they're in my backyard, and also Buffalo. I mean, Buffalo. So there's this guy. So we tailgate at the Hammer Lot, okay, and I think the guy's name is Ron. And do you know the ketchup mustard guy in
Oh yeah.
Buffalo?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so I met him. Right, had no idea what this was. 11:30 rolls around. And the guy says, "Oh, you want to be over here?" I'm like, "Okay, what am I watching?" So this guy comes out, he's got a hot dog, and he says, "Hey, does anybody have any ketchup or mustard?" And everybody in the crowd has ketchup and mustard, and they start pouring it on this guy's face, all over his clothes. And I'm like, this is awesome. I mean, it's just another breed of tailgating up there. They just take it to another level. It's crazy.
Now, I feel like I have to ask with Bill's Mafia, did anyone mistake the chair for a table and jump into it and just bust the game up?
Dude, I got footage. It was Cleveland, Buffalo in Cleveland, and I have footage of a Buffalo fan playing, diving for an interception, goes into the chair, and the shit goes everywhere. And it's just like, of course that's gonna happen.
Of
So
course, in
yes,
Buffalo
they
would
did.
happen. Good stuff. All
Crazy.
right, let's shift over now. Like Shark Tank. Shark Tank, like whenever this airs, it'll be a little over a week ago, whenever it came out.
Yes.
Like, I'm just gonna keep it real open. Tell us about the experience in general for you, because to me it sounds amazing.
So I've watched the show from season 1 up until my season
There you
17,
go.
which you consider watching now. And I've never taken a business class in my life, never got an MBA. I think the only class I got in business might have been microeconomics in high school. So I have zero experience with business. Watching that show, I've learned a tremendous amount, right? From patents to cost of customer acquisition to ROAS, like all these different things. And it's really a good teacher if you pay attention to the message that they're trying to send you.
Sure.
So put that in the back of your mind. Now, you watch this show for 16 years. You get on set. You see the walkway where the wood floor is. You see the circle of light. There's a spotlight above that, and you see the concentric circles that everybody walks out to. The door, wait, before the doors, you see the fake fish tanks on the wall. You're like,
Right.
oh my God. The doors open up, and you see the seats where the sharks are going to sit. This is the day before they walk you through. And you're like, oh my God, this just got real. And then you go to the next day and it's your day to pitch. And you've been practicing this pitch for days, 1,000 times. And they wanted me to actually take, if you guys know my game, it's 2 chairs that are folded up inside a carrying bag, and it's got all the field goal posts and stuff like that in there. They wanted me to not only do my pitch, but to open the bag and to form the chairs into the game while I'm doing the pitch. And when I first started, I'm like, this is going to be impossible. And then so I practice. And I got it down to know how to pack the game perfectly, have the post perfectly. So when I pull it out, there's no hiccups. And I had this pitch memorized in my head. 2 minutes until showtime. My mind goes blank.
It's stressful.
I have my house, my family, my business, everything on the line. So imagine having everything on the line, and you're going to go out in 2 minutes in the most highly stressful situation in your entire life. Are we allowed to curse in this or no?
Yeah, go for it.
And don't fuck it up. That's what's going in my head right now. So 2 minutes. So you have these producers that are your handlers in a sense, right? They help you throughout the process. And I am constantly pacing back and forth. They're like, where's Mike? Where's Mike? I was like behind a curtain or something like that, just going over my pitch. And then it's go time. I have a cameraman behind me. And I did this is the first time this ever happened in Shark Tank history. Now, when you watch the show, the doors open up and the entrepreneurs walk out to their mark on the carpet. They stand there for about 15 seconds and the sharks size them up and they go boom into your pitch. Okay. I had an idea. So when you think about high school football teams and college teams, when they storm the field in the opening, like they're announcing the team or whatever, there's a banner, there's smoke going, and you run right through, and the crowd goes nuts. So I'm like, what if we did something like that? They're like, it's a great idea. So I got a breakaway banner, and you'll see at the beginning of the episode. And I told the camera guy, I said, listen, when I get to that third circle of light on the floor, I'm gonna run. And that's exactly what I did. I ran through, boom, through the banner, and I go right into my pitch. And you see every shark's face go, Jesus, what is that? Because they weren't expecting it. And when you watch the episode back, you're going to be like, wow. And then I go right into my pitch right away, memorized everything. It all came back to me. I thought I nailed the pitch pretty well. And my training took over, and that was it. So once I got through that, I felt comfortable. I threw the football to Michael Strahan, invited him on to play, and I just went into tailgate mode, Mike, and then explained the game, and that was it. It was awesome.
I mean, I can understand why there would be some nerves before, a pretty big opportunity in your life, especially with all that you told us tonight and what I heard on the show of what was kind of riding on that. But again, I think you pitched it extremely well. Not just saying that because you're in front of me talking right now. I was like, he pitched this about as well as he could with everything. He had good energy. I did like that because I was like, I haven't seen anybody bust through a banner before going on there. And you could tell they were a little kind of like taken aback because they weren't ready for that.
Know this. There's 30,000 companies that apply for this show every year, and only 100 get on air. That's 1 in 300 get on TV. So you can go out there, they could film you, and there's a chance you won't get aired. And that would be, to me, that would be the biggest disaster. I mean, look, I wish I would have gotten a deal. I didn't get a deal, and they gave me some great advice, which, acting on, and it's already starting to bear some fruit. And look, these guys are in business. They're worth millions, sometimes billions of dollars, so they know what they're doing. And I'd be an idiot not to listen to them and the advice they're giving. So I'm taking it to heart. I'm using it as a learning experience, and the exposure's been fantastic. So I'm super pumped.
Yeah, I mean, again, just to know you're one of the companies that was selected to be on TV because at the time you don't know, right?
No clue. And look, so go into my head for a second, right? I have Michael Strahan. I have sales. I have all this going for me. And I'm thinking, there is no way I'm not going to get a deal.
And a pretty
And
reasonable offer, I feel like you
man, I
made
wasn't,
comparatively speaking.
yes, and dude, listen, I use ChatGPT. Listen, so everybody's like, "You use ChatGPT?" So I poured all this into ChatGPT, and I said, "What should I value my company at?" And it was genius. They went through all these things. Why it should be worth this? Here's the range. You got in the dick, so maybe you could push it to the higher. And I didn't even go to the higher. I was like kind of in the middle. And then afterwards, it says, "Do you want to role play?" I could be Mr. Wonderful or Mark Cuban. So they started acting like those sharks to me, and I would speak the answers back into it, and I was role playing as if I was on the show, and it prepared me tremendously to get on there. So I don't get the deal. I feel like I got punched in the gut. I'm walking off, and I got the camera guy in my face. You can see the look on my face. I'm like, get that thing out of my face. I don't want to talk to anybody. And then they interview you afterwards, and you have to have the mindset of, all right, it's a TV show. You got to give them something so it gives you the best chance to get on air. So I'm thinking in sound bites, right? What do they want to hear? What's my best chance of getting on air? Then I leave, and it's just me out there. I'm in California. I'm from New Jersey. I'm out there on my own, and I'm walking up and down the beach, which was they film in Culver City. I go to Manhattan Beach. I got my tail between my legs, and I'm walking from Manhattan Beach to the next one. I forgot what it was. And I'm just thinking constantly, what could I have done better? And I was just beating myself up. But I think it's a natural response.
It
And then
is.
time went on, and I was like, you know what? I got to sit back and relax and appreciate what I just did, knowing that thousands of other companies didn't get to that point. So you got to take the positive out of it. It was a huge positive experience.
No, that's really good perspective because I feel like in life sometimes we get too focused on the negative part and be like, actually, there's a lot of blessings and positives,
Sure.
even in a moment that might not feel quite as warm and fuzzy. I've been there, you've been there. Probably a lot of people listening have been there in some respect for it. So that's good knowledge for everybody to remember out there as well too. So
And oh, go ahead.
I was
Oh,
going to say,
so
like,
so afterwards, I was like, I found out that I was getting on air. They give you an email or whatever, and I go to my wife. Should we throw a watch party? And she's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "But I'm not gonna get a deal, and it's gonna be a little awkward afterwards, right?" So I talked to one of the producers. I was like, "Yeah, I was thinking about having." He's like, "Dude, have a watch party and celebrate this, blah blah blah." Right? So from the rooftops, I'm screaming to everybody. I'm doing all this PR. We're having a watch. Everybody thinks I'm getting a deal, and I can't
I
say a
did
word.
personally because every watch party I've been to, they got the deal. So I thought you
Right.
were.
Right. So I can't say anything to anybody. Everybody I talk to, you're getting a deal, you're getting a deal. I was like, well, maybe I will, maybe I won't. And then it comes time, I'm at the restaurant. We had 150 people there. I mean, so many people showed up to support me, my family, the dream, the journey. And at the end, I gave this speech, and I just posted it on social media. I didn't know somebody was recording me, and I'm glad they did because I just poured my heart out to everybody that was there. And the positive, or the thing that I take from this, is take a deep breath, step back, look at how many people showed up for you, to
Yeah.
support you and what you're doing. And that to me was way better than any deal that I could ever get from any human being on this planet.
Oh, 100%. I appreciate you saying that too, because as a fellow creator, entrepreneur, whatever you want to call
Yeah.
that, like there's days where it feels lonely. And I'm sure you felt those as well too. It's like, does anybody see me? Is anybody supporting me? I feel like I'm putting everything I have
Yes.
into this, and it's like,
And
and
you
I
get
know,
2
like,
views.
yeah, it's like I got 32 views on that video though, so 32 people
Right.
saw it. Right. So no, I think that's awesome of how, and again, like you should celebrate this. Again,
So
being on
I
Shark
got
Tank
some
is
awesome
special.
I got some awesome advice for you. A
Tell me.
mentor of mine said to me, he goes, "Mike," he goes, "You're gonna have awesome days and you're gonna have really shitty days. Never get too high, never get too low. Stay right in the middle, as even keel as you possibly can. Point the ship in the direction you want to go, and just go for it." And that's what I tell myself on the good days and the bad days.
Sure. No, I think that's a very wise man. I tell for my day job, I tell my employees that a lot of the times too. It's like, hey, we can celebrate. Let's not get too high. Let's not get too
Right.
arrogant if we have success. But also, if we have a bad day, that's not going to
It's
define
gonna
us
get
either.
better.
It's not.
Right.
Good
Right.
stuff. All right. So what? So I've watched the episode a couple of times now,
Yeah.
but I feel like
Oh.
there, and you've given us a little bit of the peeling back the onion a little bit. Like, was there more that wasn't shown? That's kind of like either was it outtakes, conversation, anything else that would be kind of cool to share right
Yeah.
now with everyone?
I was on there for about 45 minutes on the floor, on the carpet for 45 minutes.
Okay, that's longer than I thought it would be.
They show you about 8 minutes of it.
Right.
We talked about, us being in Dick's. We're in over 200 Dick's Sporting Goods across the country. And, for whatever reason, it didn't make the tape, but everybody's asking me, "Didn't you talk about Dick?" Of course I did. And then, I really got into the story about my kids and my wife and them being an integral part of the business because, my kids, especially, well, my wife is obviously, she's been a rock since the beginning. If anybody out there is an entrepreneur and they're married, it'd be very difficult to be successful in your business if you don't have buy-in from your spouse, right?
100%.
And she's been, supportive of me and the dream, since day one. Again, good days and bad days, she's always there. And my kids, I would take on these journeys to the different stadiums like Cleveland, Ohio State, all over. And those were some of the best times because I got, alone time with them and had a chance to bond with them. And my parents taught me a lesson back when I was younger saying, basically, I'm not going to buy you a car when you're 17. If you want a car, you got to figure it out. So, and that was the best lesson that anybody has ever taught me because it taught me to hustle, it taught me to earn, and it taught me to save. And I did the same lesson for my kids. I said, not buying you a car, figure it out. If you want to make some money, come with me to these tailgates. I'll pay you $10 for every game that we sell. They came every time and they loved it. And they each bought their own car and hopefully, put a little lesson in there that they're going to take when they get older. So we'll see. One's 19, one's 17. So I think it's working.
Excellent. Excellent. Tailgating chairs are helping make better future entrepreneurs and children of America. Love it. Love it.
Absolutely. And
Ar-
listen, so my kids are seeing people that are like I brought my son to the Cleveland Buffalo game and there's people jumping on the tables, smashing them, hammered out of their minds. And I remember this. 3 girls. There was a girl on either side and there was a girl in the middle and she was dragging her leg. She was completely passed out and her friends were like basically dragging her. I had to have that conversation with my son who's 12 in the car on the way home. And it was a good teaching, learning experience. Like, hey, you're going to go to college one day and you're going to potentially be in this situation. Make smart choices. And that's what we talked about.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Again, another reason why I love tailgating because there could be so many different positives and just conversations because people can engage authentically versus sometimes where we're just all trapped on our phones or mobile devices and not
It's
having
such a
the hard
unique,
conversations.
it's such a unique thing to the United States. I mean, maybe they do it a little bit in Canada, but over in Europe, I don't believe they tailgate. They just go to pubs or whatever before games. So I think tailgating is an American, tradition, and it's such an awesome way to meet people, to connect, hang out, put your differences aside, and just have a good time.
I mean, I heard the word tailgate and connect. Haha. Shameless plug for the Tailgate Connect podcast right
There you
there.
go.
Boom. Got it.
See what I did there?
I did. I love it. I love it. All right. So you said you walked away with some knowledge and some different things you've already started to apply. Can you speak to any of that right now?
Yeah, so one of their hangups was I spent a lot of money on ad spend, and I did. I spent, I think I said 700 grand, and we grossed 1.6, 1.62. So we were growing the top line, but the amount of profit that I was getting was not enough for them to be investable. And I've been doing this business for 9 years, and I haven't paid myself a dime. All the money that I bring in, I put it back into the business. And I think that's why that was happening, is because my ad bill was so high. I had to keep paying it off. So I'm changing strategy and companies that I'm using for social media, that we're focusing on more profit. I don't care. I mean, yeah, I want to sell, it's nice to have that attractive number, 1.6. But if I sell half of that and I'm making 3 times the amount of profit, at the end of the day, when you're a business, it's the amount of money that you hold on to
For sure.
that's the measuring stick. You know what I mean? I
100%.
want to bring more money into the business and pay myself, and then grow the business maybe a little bit more healthy. And that's what we're trying to do now.
Excellent. Excellent. All right. We're going to come back with some final thoughts with Shark Tank, but I want to
Yeah.
shift gears to let people get to know you a little bit
Okay.
better. I feel like you've already shared. Obviously, you're a good dad. You're putting out the good principles for your kiddos, which I love to hear.
Sure.
You're getting around the country doing different tailgates. So I asked you a question earlier in regards to the best or the most exciting QB54 players out there. Where would you say? Would you also let me? Where's the best tailgating that you've seen?
I think it's a tie. I think it's a tie between Buffalo and Cleveland. I think those fan bases are the most passionate that I have ever met. I haven't been to Kansas City. I haven't been down the Cowboys or anything like that. Other places I went to, definitely Buffalo and Cleveland for sure. The nicest people. Not to say the other areas aren't nice, but these people were so nice, open arms, and it was just great. And coming from Jersey, when you go to other stadiums and whatnot, it's amazing the difference on how people treat each other. I'll tell you, this has nothing to do with QB, but I'm a Rutgers grad, and I went to Nebraska to see Rutgers, Nebraska last year with my buddy Kevin, and we're wearing our Rutgers gear, and everybody's coming up to us saying, "Hey, thanks for coming. Thanks for making the trip." I'm like, "What?"
Huh.
I'm like, "What? We're the enemy." They were so nice to us. I was like blown away. This would never happen at Rutgers. We'd be cursing at them, throwing shit at them, and it's just it's not necessary. You should be nice to people, right?
Yes.
It was awesome. It was such a great experience. But getting back to your question, Cleveland and Buffalo, hands down, the 2 best tailgates I've been to.
Excellent. Tell me this. Where is a bucket list tailgate that you want to get to still?
There's 2. Lambeau,
Okay.
Arrowhead.
Okay. Can't argue
I
with that,
want I
bro.
want to go to Arrowhead because I know that it's just like a massive parking lot. I know they would love our game down there, and I know we would crush it. It's just going to take me 27 and a half hours to drive there. That's the
Because you
downside.
because you got to bring all the QB54 games with you, right?
Listen, I'm going to tell you the level of hustle, right? I got
Tell me.
invited to go see the Notre Dame football team, and coach. It was a spring game, so the game was at, I don't know, noon. And this guy said, "Hey, I got the connection. If you want, we can go out there." We left Friday night or Friday afternoon, like 4:30. It's about 14 hours. Drove straight through. Didn't let him drive because I don't trust anybody except myself driving. We crash for about 3 hours. We meet the team. We go to the spring game. We stay till halftime, and we drive all the way home right after that. We were literally there for 6 hours.
How
That's
much
it.
caffeine?
But
How much
this is
caffeine did you have that day, Mike?
just Coke, just Coca-Cola. Um, so, but listen, this is the level of drive, passion, and everything that you need to have for the business. But listen, would I do that for my real job? Hell no. Would I do this for me? Yes. I could work 80 hours a week on this and it feel like I'm working 10 minutes. And that's when you know you love something.
So first, I agree and appreciate that, but I guess I didn't realize that. So this is still a side hustle. If I am I hearing that
Yes, it is.
correctly?
That you are correct, sir.
Okay. I mean, I
Listen,
always
there's
say because
24 hours in a day. There's 24
right.
hours in a day. You spend 8 hours at your 9 to 5. That leaves 16 hours.
Well, it
That
sounds
leaves
like
you 2/3 of the day,
if
right?
you drink enough Coca-Cola, you can have a lot more hours in the day. There's shameless plug for Coke.
There you go. So, yes,
Oh,
it is my side hustle. I have another job I've been at for like 29 years. That puts food on the table, right? If I'm not paying myself a dime from the business, I gotta support my family somehow, right? So,
I mean,
that's
I
what I'm
assume
doing.
that, or either your wife is just a really, really good woman taking care of all of that.
I wish she was independently wealthy, but no, that's not the case.
Oh,
It would
all
make things a
good.
hell of a lot easier.
Oh, for sure. No, but I appreciate that story because I feel like a lot of times people see people on Shark Tank or if they're in Digs, whatever the case may be, like, oh, like this is a big corporation. They got a lot of employees working for them. But like there's sometimes
Just me.
it's like Mr. Mike, like hustling in his house, in his garage, driving 14 hours to do stuff, working multiple jobs to make ends meet and still going
Yeah.
strong. Like I feel like you're going as strong as ever right now, like since 2016.
Yeah, I mean, look, I'm not getting younger. I want to say it's keeping me young. You know why? Because I interact with a lot of different people. I'm interacting with college kids, younger kids, at all ages. But I think I'm getting good, decent at making content and just trying to learn what the trends are, what works, what doesn't work, using CapCut. I don't know how many people my age even know what CapCut is. You know what I mean?
Probably
It's
some
all
of the
about
listeners
making
don't even
content,
know what it is.
right? CapCut's an editing tool on your iPhone that makes awesome videos for you, and it's super. If I can do it, you can do it. It's that easy. So,
Coming from the
yes,
guy that just did a really good job on Shark Tank. Oh, if I can do it, anybody can do it. It's fine. It's
you
fine.
could if you wanted to.
All right, Mike. This might be the hardest question I'm going to ask you all day. Are you prepared
Okay,
for it?
sure.
You're at the tailgate right now, and there's no QB54. What is your
Okay,
favorite tailgating game aside from QB54?
I play cornhole.
Okay, maybe it wasn't that hard. I
Right?
know sometimes 'cause I feel like you're so dedicated,
Yeah.
you'd be like, I will not play any other games.
No, but here's the thing. Everybody knows cornhole's the 800-pound gorilla in the room, right? I mean, they're the biggest game, blah blah. That's why I make ads making fun of cornhole and promoting my game, and everybody gets so pissed off. Oh my god, this game's never gonna be as big as cornhole. Of course, but you know what? I got that reaction out of you, and now we're interacting. It helps the algorithm, and just keep spewing the troll stuff that you want. I'm gonna eat it up. Okay, but yeah, cornhole's fun. It gets boring because it's the same motion every time, and there's really no strategy involved. And is there really skill if you're throwing underhand to it? Maybe not so much.
I
That's
mean,
why you
I
have
could
other
argue
games that
that after going to the World Championships of the Cornhole Association, like I feel like I could argue that with some of the pros that I met out there. Again, I am not a pro. I
okay,
don't claim to
okay.
be a pro, but
There's no
they're
defense. It's like bowling. I'm
yeah, I
just
mean,
kidding.
but
All the
there could
bowlers.
be defense. You could stack the bags and put them in front of the hole with. So
You
again,
can.
not to get too far off topic here, but again, I know what you're saying,
It's all
and I'm a
good.
believer.
I just love creating the debate.
Yeah, see, we just had one. We just did it here on
Right.
the on the podcast with it. And again,
Right.
I'm not married to cornhole or anything. I love playing a variety of different games. Like that's
Sure.
the fun
All
part
right.
for
Let
me,
me let me
honestly, out
take
there.
it. Let me take it back. What is your
Yeah.
favorite game? No. What's yours?
The one I'm playing now. Haha, how's that for a fun one? But no, like I love frisbee games, tossing games. Like there's so many different games out there that I've gotten to play
Sure.
that like, and I enjoy so many of them. I never actually get good at any of them because I keep switching them up. And I just
Right.
like, hey, we're doing a
Right.
tailgate, so we're going to bring out ramps, we're going to bring out rollers, we're going to bring out foosball, we're going to bring out something, right? Just something different to
Sure.
keep having fun.
Look, this is the way I look at it, right? And there's other companies, other tailgating games that come to me sometimes say, "Hey, Mike, what do you think about this? What do you think?" Look, we're all in this together, right? No matter like a rising tide. I say this all the time. A rising tide raises all boats, right? If my game is good and your game is good, we're going after the same customer, and the customer's going to play more than one game, right? So I mean, So the guy from Rollers, he's got an amazing game, right? It's a great game. Ramshot, those guys are from Long Island, I believe. They have a great game. Like all these guys, Can Jam. I mean, look, people are Spikeball. They're all good games, right? If you want to play football, you play QB54. You want to play a volleyball, you play Spikeball. You just change it up a little bit. And if there's no games there and you have Cornhole, you play Cornhole.
Yeah.
That's it.
And again, most
Right?
people that own one tailgate game buy multiple games because they enjoy the variety and stuff like that too. So you're spot on with it that like it's
Right, and why not get a
competition.
game that turns into chairs? Why not get a game that turns into chairs, right? I mean, come on, dual purpose.
Dual purpose, dual purpose. Gosh, okay. Let me. I want to hit a couple more of these questions to get to know
Sure.
you on there with it because I thought I could talk to you all
Got it.
night because it's so easy to
Sure.
talk to you.
I
All
got
right, so
time.
you're at the same tailgate. You're playing
Yes.
cornhole now, right? Or QB54.
Right?
What is going to be in your cup? What is your tailgating drink of choice?
Wow. Like right now? All right. So
Yeah, the
right
next tailgate
now,
you go to. If you tailgate this weekend, what would be in your
I'll
cup?
tell you what I
That's your
had.
favorite.
The last game, I went to the Giants Giant game. Who they play? Who are they playing? The Rams? No. Chargers. They played the Chargers. I went to the Giant Charger game. And this summer, I went on vacation to an island called Madeira. It's off the coast of Morocco, which is owned by Portugal. It is the most beautiful place on this planet, okay? And I don't have money, like I said. How I got able to go there, all this ad dollars that I spend, this is a shout out to Amex. For the first $150,000 you spend on advertising, you get 4 points. So I spent over $700,000 on advertising. So when you exceed that 150, what do? You open up another credit card so you can get another 150. And then when you exhaust that, then you go to another. So I had like, I don't know, 1.5 million points. And I'm like, you know what? If I can't pay myself, I'm going to pay myself in vacations and take my family so we can enjoy this. It's better than buying shit that you're never going to remember. You're going to have these experiences for life. I know this is a long way of answering the question, but it hits right here. Went there, had a beer called Coral, Coral.
Okay.
Fantastic. So I went to my local liquor store and because that's what we have here in Jersey. I said, "Do you guys carry Coral?" He's like, "No." He's like, "What is it?" So I told him the story. He goes, "All right, let me put an order in." And before I went to the liquor store before the game, they had it and I brought it. I'm like, "Oh my God, this is amazing." So to answer your question, Coral beer.
Coral. What style beer is that?
Kind of like a Pilsner. It's like, when you go on vacation, you get the local beer. Have you ever been to like the Bahamas or whatever or the Caribbean? Maybe not since you're in Colorado, but they always have like it's the lighter type of beer. It's not like they do have a stout, but it's not like a stout. It's nice. It's kind of like, I don't know. Like, I don't know, I wouldn't say Miller Lite, but it's better than that. Maybe like a
Like
longboard
it
ale. Have
tastes
you ever had
good.
that from Hawaii? Yeah, it's good. It's good. For your listeners out there, check it out. It's good. And if you can't get that, get Superbach, which is the other beer in Portugal, which is phenomenal as well.
Okay. I'm a big craft beer guy, so I could talk about beer a
What
long
do you
time
love?
too.
What's in your cup?
What's in my cup? Usually whatever is the cold beer in the cooler. But honestly, when I bring stuff, I bring a variety. Right? I know I'm skirting around all the questions, but I'm an
Give me
IPA
your
guy
answer.
primarily.
I gave you an answer. Give me an answer. What?
All right. But right now, hey, let me pull it out. I'll pull it out the beer fridge right here.
Yeah, why not? There's no
This is
time
what
like
I've
the
been
present.
drinking. I've been drinking.
Wait, I
Let me get
can't
it
see
over
it.
here. Little Vibes, and it actually is the tailgating challenge beer. So I've been drinking a lot of that this year right here. So West Coast
What is that,
Session
hippie beer?
IPA. Yeah. So it's a tailgating beer.
I
So that's
love
what you
it.
should be drinking. There you go. They made it there in Pennsylvania.
Let's go.
Voodoo Brewing Company.
Where?
Shout
Where
out
in
to them for.
Pennsylvania?
Uh,
Where are they located? I could go over there and get some.
where is Voodoo? I should probably know this. Meadville, Pennsylvania. Does that ring any bells?
It does not, but I could always look it up on Google Maps.
Okay. Hey, there might be some getting shipped to your area soon as they distribute some of it around the
Well,
country. So you never know. There it is.
I will try it. I'll take a picture and I'll send it to you.
Boom. I love it. I love it. Okay. We got the drink in the cup. We got the game we're playing. Last question. Any food, you don't have to make it. You don't have to worry about the price. It's going to show up on your plate. What would be your ideal tailgating food menu for you?
So Shout out to Ruckers. Went to a basketball game, and they had this prime rib with greens on it and like a horseradish sauce. So it was the most intense, insane, delicious sandwich I ever had. And the guy that made it was behind the counter, and I was like, dude, what is in this? I was fascinated. I asked him a million questions. He goes, bro, it's so easy. He takes this prime rib, slathers it in mustard, and then just douses it with Montreal steak rub, puts it in the fridge 24 hours before, cooks it at 200, and then for like 15 minutes for every pound. It was so good. He gave me a second sandwich for free, and I made it on Christmas at our house. Boom. It was the best thing I've ever had. There's your
That does
Can you tell
sound
I'm
good.
passionate about food?
No,
Let me
definitely
tell you
tell.
one more thing. So when I took my kids across country to these tailgates, my son was huge into Triple D, diners, drive-ins, and dives on the Food Network, right? So his goal or his job was to find us places to eat. And he would go on the website or we would watch it together. We went to every place that we ate was on that show, and it just made that experience phenomenal. He's diehard about food now. So am I. So food's a big thing.
Excellent. No,
So what's
I'm
on
all
your
about
plate?
that. What's on my plate? Again, like I'm the guy. Like I can grill and cook out, but like I don't. When I tailgate, I'm so focused on like the culture and getting around and shooting content and doing that. Like I appreciate whatever people give me, but again, this sounds simple, but like a good hamburger, like you cannot go wrong with that. It's easy, it's
Yeah.
digestible. Like I feel like it might not be the fancy answer that people are looking for, but like if you have that with the
Right.
right condiments on it and the right beer in your cup, like hey, like I am
Boom.
totally happy with that.
Absolutely. I'll never turn down a burger. If you see me in
No doubt.
person, you'll understand.
All right, Mike, tell us as we wrap up here, what's next for QB54?
So what I'd like to do, if we have a successful year for the rest of the year, and I'm able to bring some capital in, I'd love to add some add-ons to the family and introduce golf, basketball. What else was I thinking? Soccer. Just you could turn this chair. It's not just football. I mean, what makes it football is the field goal post. Now, what if I swapped that out for a goal and made it, a soccer net? Or I put the back of that chair back up and have a mini basketball. Now you have a basketball hoop. Or you can chip golf balls into the bucket, into the beverage holder for the automatic win. So there's all these different things that you can do that make this game versatile, and it could reach a lot of different people, and I could get more customers coming back. So I'd like to add on to the existing, game that we have to span to more sports.
No doubt. No, that sounds like instead of just one game, this is now an 8-in-1 game with QB54. So,
There you
yeah,
go.
I feel like a lot of games are starting to do that too, of trying to diversify, right? To bring in different audiences or keep people engaged with their game. Where it's like, okay, just swap it
Sure.
out for the basketball, swap it out for the golf. I was gonna say swap it out for the bowling. I don't know if a bowling one's gonna work, but but that's what
Okay.
popped in my head.
Look,
So,
Frisbee golf. I could put a net in there with a Frisbee.
yeah,
Boom. I could put
yeah,
bottles on top. I could put double bottles on that, and you
yeah.
got Polish horseshoes. You know what I mean?
Oh, that's a really fun game too. I enjoy that game. So that could be an easy one with your
Yeah,
setup you already have on there pretty much. All right, Mike, tell
100%.
tell people where can they find you?
Sure. So you can get it at 3 different places right now. You can get it on our website. You can get QB54 on our website, playqb54.com. You can get it on Amazon, and we're in over 200 Dick's Sporting Goods stores across the country. If you want to get it at Dick's, awesome. You can get it instantly at the store, or they can deliver it to a store that's near you. To me, you can get it. I don't care where you get it, just get it. And all roads lead back to me. And every set comes with 2 chairs, 2 sets of goalposts, a football carrying bag, a ball pump with a steel needle, and a kicking tee. It's everything you need it comes with everything you need to play the game. Throw it over your shoulder, take it to the beach, take it to your backyard, or more importantly, take it to your favorite tailgate, and you're going to
There we
have a ton
go.
of fun.
I love that. Go ahead and let's speak it into existence. what retailer would you love to have QB54 in that it's not in currently?
Next,
Yeah.
Costco.
Call it out. Speak it out. Costco? Okay.
Costco. Give me a call.
Costco. If you're listening to it, let's get QB54 in the store. In the store. Oh,
Here we go.
one more
Let's
question. Let's speak one more thing in there because, with Mr.
Sure.
Michael Strahan playing the game, who would you want as a athlete to play the game that hasn't played the game that you would love to see play it? Former or
Tom
current?
Brady.
Tom Brady?
Tom Brady.
Let me ask you this. Do you
Or
think
Joe
you
Burrow.
could beat it?
I love Joe Burrow too. Joe Burrow's the man. Go ahead.
Do you think you could beat Tom Brady in a game of QB54?
100%. Without a question. He can't kick.
He's the
can't
GOAT.
He's the GOAT at the real game. He's not a GOAT at the real game. I am.
Tom Brady, the tailgating challenge has been laid down. Just saying.
Let's go.
Oh, good
Come
stuff.
on. Don't be scared.
Hey, Mike. Thank you so much for being on the show this evening. This has been just really easy to talk to you. It's been fun. It's been informative for me, especially as a tailgating connoisseur and Shark Tank aficionado. Like, I loved catching up, and
Yes.
I'm so glad that you're bringing a positive message with this, and you're showing the hustle. Because I think sometimes, again, we talked about people sometimes just see a brand and they think oh, they have 48 people helping do this, but it's nah. It's Mike. Now I know, kids and your wife, and there's people that support you doing it, but
Oh yeah.
this ain't a giant.
And just
corporation or
remember,
anything.
an overnight 6 test takes about 8 to 9 years.
I understand that
in.
and appreciate that story as well too. So, all right. Oh, and one more
Yes.
thing, Mike, before you go. So we'll plug. So again, this was the Tailgate Connect podcast. We have easy button tailgating all across America with college football, NFL host, and for Mike, if you didn't know, we have a Rutgers host. We have a Rutgers host with Tailgate Connect. The name of the tailgate is called Friends of Frank. And so I'm going to need to connect you with him so that you can go check out his tailgate.
Great.
He does amazing tailgates, themed tailgates. I haven't been there yet, but I need to get up there. Maybe we can all have a tailgate together at Friends of Frank with Tailgate Connect.
If you're up here, you better drop me a line. I'd love to see you in person.
I will do that, sir. All right. Well, thanks everybody that listened through the whole episode. We appreciate you. We appreciate Mike being on here. Go follow him on social media as well, too. Go support his journey with all the cool stuff he's got going on. We hope to connect you at a tailgate very soon and hope you have a good night. See you next time.
Tailgate Connect.